Good evening. Now I'm talking and then I'm cursing. Because what the fuck? I need to fix my pen. And I think it's this one that has been changed. Preferences. Hello, you're here on time indeed, you are. Tools, tablet, no. The fuck? No waiting on the Disco info. No, you didn't. You're all good. This is what we like. I have an issue that I'm trying to fix right away. Where the fuck is that one? My something has changed and I'm not sure exactly what it is that has changed, but my let's check there. Tablet. I don't think it's this one. Digital pen. Here we go. Mouse right, double click. Okay. So if I do this one, that's not what it should be. Modify key settings. Let's see what that one says. Mouse. Right click, change tool temporarily. No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want neither. Change brush size. I think that one is what I wanted. Let's see what this one does. No. This is so annoying. The fuck is this? Tool specific settings. Here we go. Now we're gonna talk. Right click, change brush set, but I don't want that one. The fuck? This has altered somehow and I don't know why. Zoom in, zoom out. Fucker. Yeah, that's good, but oh, whatever. Fuck it. Yeah, no, I don't know what it is, but it's something. And it made it so that I now have to do this one. Drag to change size. And before I used to be able to fit on the screen, but whatever. We will be doing stuff today. How are you doing? We'll do it live, yes.
Welcome to tech support.
I did a thing last time where I adjusted this one and I gave all of these little lines everywhere and I don't know what to do about it, and I don't want to go back because it looks better now than it did before, but we just need to... I don't remember what it is that I did. That's the problem. Enjoying the last day of a long weekend, yes. Yes, you had like... let's sign a paper and be all our own thing day. We're having something similar on... No, wait, it's not that one. But on Friday we have a day off. It's it's freedom after thingy, isn't it?
Yeah, Flemish, Vlaams National Office.
Ah, yeah, no,
Flemish
it's
national
the
holiday.
Flemish national holiday.
Kind of like a state holiday.
Yes.
Like,
this lady is coming along nicely. Yes, I'm gonna do quite a lot of stuff here. I'm gonna do stuff.
to the lady. Ew.
Oh yes. And we're gonna duplicate that layer.
Why? No, shut up. No, sorry. Mute your
Mute.
Sorry. I thought my headphones would cover this one, but my headphones weren't plugged in proper. I'm trying to set up my Twitch account and it's showing some weird random Russian bloggers trying to make food, and I go like, I couldn't care less.
I see. Your brother doesn't have Friday off. But the
plebs doesn't get
the positive though, the positive thing though, Red, is that you have the day off when me and N have our anniversary.
The entire country celebrates.
Yes, everyone celebrates. You say that one every year. It's funny. Because it's true.
Я не понимаю. Stop.
See, it's given like lots of little... I don't know why. I think I tried to smoothen it out, and instead what it did was it gave everything like little sharp edges. And now I have to fix all of those sharp edges. But it did save me a lot of time with other stuff. So.
What is my Twitch username again?
Your Twitch username, Ergid?
No. Fliad?
Can be Fliad.
Let's try Fliad.
I be munching tortilla chips.
Crunch.
But yes.
It's kind. No. Google password is creating a strong password for this one, and it sounds like Klingon.
Oh, I see. You got more tortilla chips and various dips at the store this morning? Ooh. What flavors? What flavors did you get? I'm curious. I have no clue what actually would be constituting as a new flavor. Or no, you didn't get new stuff, you just got more stuff.
But
gonna soften this one out by using a round brush instead.
Round brush, chrome.
Yeah. Randomly looking at the frames, but I don't have any dropped frames at all, which is good.
Oh my fucking god, why isn't this one working? Done. Okay. Oh my if Twitch sends me one more security code, I am going to fucking scream.
If anyone is wondering, and got a new laptop. It's a through work thingy. So she's struggling a little bit with the setup of things.
Yeah, I'm not struggling with anything. I'm just, stupid fucking.
Well, correction. N isn't struggling with anything. Twitch is. Oh no, okay, ça va. I managed to put the lady on one single layer together with the background. That's fine. Everything is fine. Just need to
Okay, fine. I'll remove that
adjust that one.
because that's not working.
That was a little bit much. Logging back into accounts on new device because we use a VPN for work. Most sites have to log in to make me authenticate my machine every single time. Yes,
Yeah.
Pita.
At work, I have to use the VPN. Obviously, makes sense. Working at the bank, security and shit. However, since we had to upgrade to Windows 11, for some weird reason they decided to no longer make it an option to keep your password stored in your browser. Before you could just go like, yeah, password stored in Chrome or in Edge or what. They blocked that one. So now every morning when I log in, I have to log into Jira, I have to log into Confluence, I have to log into Slack, I have to log into Teams, I have to log in. It's a fucking bloody menace. Literally manually typing, my password every time. And now, our system admins are complaining that developers don't log out of their computer, reboot their computer more than once a week. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. And then the worst offense they did is for every developer, they made the Chrome beta and Chrome developer program obligatory and automatically set as my standard browsers. So the first thing I need to do is when I reboot my computer is select the proper browser, because the beta and dev one are fucking buggy as hell.
Let's see what.
So I hope they get.
Hate that bullshit. It's a feature. Once in a week is fine. Yes.
Works as designed. Alright, so you are going to get removed. Uninstall off you folk. Okay. So Cricket got installed. Let's take that as well.
Cricket is good.
Then I need to find me some OBS layouts because I want to change the one that I had. and the setup obvious for me.
Yes. So yes, it's a bit of a chore here today with that one.
Yeah, well, you know, it started already on Friday when I decided to move all my photographs to.
Friday was fine.
Yeah, at 1:45 I went like, yeah.
Hmm. That was not what I asked, motherfucker. So yeah, I'm forced to do a little bit of cleaning up here now. Don't know why that one happened, but whatever. Okay. So that looks good. That looks okay.
Now, the difficult bit, it's a really big laptop.
Yeah.
And the keyboard is remarkably squished on it. So I don't have the full... It's a bit closer to each other than I'm used to.
Uh-huh.
So when I'm typing blind, my dyslexia really is noticeable. Are you having a stroke? No, I'm just getting used to the new keyboard. So I might hook up like a gaming keyboard to this one.
Yeah.
Alright. OBS.
Zoom.
Do I need to download Streamlabs? The OBS plugin for Streamlabs?
Do not remember. Is it Streamlabs or is it Stream Elements? Don't do Streamlabs. Streamlabs is fucked. Streamlabs is the one that is like the.
Wasn't the one with Nightbot that we decided to?
No, Streamlabs is the one that basically has nicked everything from everyone else. And then they made OBS into Streamlabs OBS, and OBS is like.
No, it's okay, I find it.
OBS is like, you know, I don't know what you're talking about. This is kind of ours, but okay, fine. It's, you know, it's an open public source thingy, so whatever, do your thing. And Streamlabs tried to copyright OBS as theirs. It didn't work. What?
Do we need to put out paper tonight?
I do not know.
If so, we wait up until next one. We have the space for it right now.
Yes. Make the balls bigger, keen. Don't change. Just saying. Okay, we're gonna fit this one to the screen now, and then we are going to cut and paste. And then we can remove this one. And then we can remove this one. And then hopefully I can start filling this stuff in. Booba, yes, there is always Booba. Fucker. I had missed one. Wrong layer, Kronk.
So I'm gonna see whether I can get a couple of overlays and whatnot.
Yep.
so we can because the idea is to maybe do some streaming either on my own channel or on this one, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
For some glass work.
Yes. I think that one's gonna be awesome. Bit of glass work. Glass stream. Glass work stream. That was your brother asking, by the way.
Yeah. That was the idea. It might be all pinkish and shit and whatnot. Why is it there?
Merge with layer below, and now I can do this one. Sorry, this is just me cleaning a bit. I need to save as well, otherwise I lose this clean thingy.
That's in there. Oh wow. Smart.
What?
Now I'm just, looking at free over things and it says add to cart because you need to check it out, which makes sense. But, I went like, God damn it, it's no longer in my cart, so I click on it and it says twice, yeah, because if it's $0, it will be not visible in the cart from the little. It might be all pink and shit, I don't know yet.
No, well, that's fine. Pink is good. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. No, no. I almost flattened it again. That would have been awesome. Not.
It might be all pink and shit.
Yes. Okay, so we are making the boobas bigger. Not much, but just a little tad. And so yes. What have you been doing this week, Keen? You got any fun anecdotes? Anything at all? To regale us with. I'm sorry, but we're kind of used to Eelman, and now we're.
Well, you can go with conspiracy, dude.
Yeah, but I like him. I don't wanna.
Okay, fine.
It's fun and nice. But yes, I have a dude at my work who is a conspiracy. It's not conspiracy theories. He basically he finds things that he finds interesting, and then he more or less accepts it. So I guess that makes him kind of a conspiracy theorist. Stream paused for. Oh yes.
I can tell the very funny story of the glass plate that Red gave us.
Oh yeah.
Because, why not?
Yes. Do tell.
So, one of the things we're doing with the glass works bit is, you know, use recycle glass and whatever. So we have a little kiln, so we can actually melt glass, which is like because it's, you know, playing with, you know,
Fire.
600-700 degree, you know, molten liquid magma, which you can do in the microwave, by the way, which is fucking funny. But yes, follow the streams for weird shit we're talking about now. But everything else, like stained glass, I would like to use as much recycle as much glass as possible, because, you know, when environmental engineer, it makes sense. It gives, you know, a bit of sustainability to it. Also, all the extra glass bits we have left, we can melt and make jewelry and pendants and shit out of it, simply because, you know, environmental friendliness and shit. So with that in mind, my dearest brother Red knows that we, you know, need glass, and I was a bit silly and didn't really consider all factors, but, you know, it had an old table, a garden table, which had like a glass surface on it with like some white etching on the bottom, which we weren't sure was painted or was etched. So, you know, my sister brings that plate home, and it's like, at least, you know, I think Red can confirm, 1 meter by 1 meter, like 3 feet on 3 feet, or maybe even 4 foot, you know, on 4 foot. Yeah. Why I went from feet to foot, I don't know. Go with it.
Foot.
And I went like, yeah, that's a bit too big to store, so I'll just, you know, cut it to size. I have no issues cutting glass. It's quite easy to do. You know, been doing it since I built my first terrarium in the olden days. So I take my glass cutter, I put a bit of a ruler on it, like it was long, aka a long bit of wood, cut straight down. I take my pliers. Meanwhile, my sister is trying to prepare something to, you know, melt in, you know, the little kiln. And I put my pliers on the thingy, and I'm talking to my sis and just going like, you know, it was already weird that when I scored it, it didn't sound like it should have. And I was like, yeah, but it's a bit thicker glass, it makes sense. And normally with normal glass, you have scored it, you can actually lift the entire plate of glass, just gently drop it, and just gravity alone and friction will just gently make it fall and crack. Well, I'm talking to my sis and whatever, big workspace, put the pliers on, I put a gentle amount of pressure, and I expect 2 pieces of glass where I scored, and instead I have a gazillion small sharp diamonds everywhere. It's like confetti, but if, you know, Slanesh would have something to do with it.
Glass.
So we spent like in the middle of the heat wave here, you know, 1.5 hours trying to find all the pieces of glass confetti.
Yay!
I'm still finding them everywhere.
Glass confetti. Yes.
And then, you know, it's like, oh yeah, this was like armored glass, like security glass, safety glass. Which I should have known. But I didn't. And at least it didn't happen on the stream.
Indeed.
Because that would have been embarrassing. Or not.
I see. You guys got so silent that I had to ask.
They were all shooked by the very exciting glass story.
They were. They were shooked. punch up the face. That sounds so bad. I'm gonna punch up the contrast in the face a little bit, I think. Hopefully it works. I think that one works very well. Let's punch it up a little bit more. I have been enjoying Wukong a lot lately. When I have time. When I'm not working.
I'm installing Opera as well.
Yeah. Opera is good.
Opera GX is a bit.
It's more stable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. That one we're definitely gonna do, but we're gonna fix a little bit more with the phaser first.
Okay.
I do like to give scars in the eyebrows. It's because I have one myself. It's that simple. I am a simple man.
With simple tastes.
Yes.
Do I have it? Come on. Yes, okay, I have an overlay.
Awesome.
Whoop, whoop.
save as.
Twitch
Ah. Some subtle things. So yes, next week will be a shorter week.
And then I have a full week, and the week after is a short week as well.
Nice. I shall be enjoying some time off. But I'm also going to be enjoying working some because it brings moolah.
It's, you know, you walk around loads and you have to deal with, you know, people, you.
People, you.
But it doesn't pay that bad, and, you know, you get a nice tan.
I get a nice tan.
Have you told the tales of the Cheshire tattoo?
I have not told the tales of the Cheshire tattoo. Which tales are you talking about?
The tales that sent you to, you know, the emergency GP and stuff.
No, I haven't. It turns out that I'm most likely allergic to specific tattoo colors. Brands of colors or whatever. And the one I reacted to was white. And I don't have that much white. This was the first tattoo I've ever gotten that has white. And it's more common to get to have allergic reactions to red, not to white. And I have masses of red on my other tattoo on my arm, so it wasn't something that I was considering. But suddenly I had bubbles on my arm. Looks good now though. I got antihistamines that did the trick. That is the regales that I can give you. Ba-da-ba-ba-bam. So yes, that is what happened, and I am experienced with it from now, hopefully. That's not what I asked for. That's what I asked for. New Horus Heresy edition next week. You're sad to see it go? Second edition? Do we know anything about the new edition? Because I have been not following at all lately. I mean, I've seen the boxes, or a box. Huge chunks of the rulebook. Not a fan. Were you I don't remember, but were you a fan when the previous one came? Or was it a letdown in comparison to the one from before as well? Probably the best game has released in 15 years I've been playing. Alright. Ah yes, but that's not what I asked though. What I asked was, when it came out, were you thinking that it was gonna be worse than what it was? And the previous book came. Because that one can be, you know, different as well. And not saying that it has to have been. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, you know, I'm curious. Let me put it like that. You were concerned that a lot of Alan Bly's vision would be lost, but the leaks didn't put me off. This new edition just looks like a massive thumb down. Oh.
I haven't really seen that much from it yet.
I haven't followed and seen anything, so I'm completely. I mean, I've seen like the Saturnine from the there's like a box that leaked or showed or whatever. That's about where I'm at in knowledge. So. War brought 40k's terrible squatting system over and split leadership into 4 stats. Okay. Why do you need leadership to be at 4 stats though? That one sounds strange to me.
But that's just for the Horus Heresy thing as well.
Yeah. One stat for pinning, morale, operating tech, and psychic power. It still seems weird that they would do that one because, I mean, I'm not saying that you're... Let me rephrase that one. It is weird that they do that one. Why would you need different leadership stats for I mean, it's leadership. The same thing regardless of what you do.
Well, you know, as someone who's currently having some leadership issues at work, you have leaders and you have leaders.
Fair enough.
So perhaps you should just split the rules and go like, you know, micromanager stats and, you know, coach stats. You know, that, I mean, you have leadership is broad, and we all have had some shitty leaders and managers and whatnot.
Excuse me. Rights of War were the core of the game. I never played Horus Heresy. Mainly, I think the main reason why I didn't play Horus Heresy, beyond the fact that I don't really play that much of the games at all. I'm a lore person, and like to see the fancy models and stuff. But the main reason why I wouldn't even consider playing Horus Heresy has more to do with the fact that it was so limited in armies. I mean, I understand it's the Horus Heresy. It's like, you know, Space Marines versus Space Marines, but I'm still like, yeah, but maybe if you could bring some Eldar in. But I know that like every game that they have on the market, they usually have one thing that is really the cool thing that would be fun if they would actually have in most of their games. It has 6 armies. Okay, but what are the 6 armies? Because it's Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Mechanicus, Dark Mechanicus, and then I assume Custodes maybe, or something, and then Demons. I really am not good enough knowledge of this one to be able to make any you know, informed messages about it, statements about it, but no, it's okay. Sweary streams are good streams. I like it a lot. Okay. Let's see how much we can do with this one.
Come on.
Come on. A few more than 6 actually. More, yeah, okay.
Does Horse Leprechaun have an army?
Horse definitely have. He has all the horse.
This is why we will never be monetized on YouTube.
Nope.
We do it for the big gains. Grim, yes, I'm gonna go out with you in a couple, but just patience, my dear, patience. No, mommy, I want to go out now. I know, I need to wait.
Yeah, I agree. It's the notion that everything has to be the same is sometimes a little bit annoying. I agree on that one. But the thing is though, it's, you know, there's always going to be this issue that happens where you have to choose whether everything is going to be homogenized and people are going to be upset because everything plays the same, or it's going to be not homogenized, and people are going to be upset because one army is better than the other. You know, it's a difficult. I'm not trying to be obtuse or anything like that, but just I understand the frustration, but I also understand the issue with, you know, from a game creation point of view. Like, how the hell do you make that one work without people getting upset? It just doesn't happen. You can't make people not be upset. That said, it doesn't mean that they make all the best choices with it.
Windows 11, I fucking hate you.
Yes.
But I'm not allowed to put. I can't customize my taskbar how I want to. I can't move my taskbar to. Oh, that's a shit photo. To where I want it. Because Windows 11 has decided moving your taskbar on the side is no longer allowed.
Yeah, I know. I got really annoyed at that one earlier as well when I had to install the latest shebang. Yeah. No, I agree with that one, Keen, 100%. I know exactly what you mean with that one. The 40k's problem is that it's homogenized, but still have clear better armies. Like current 40k revolves around stacking devastating wounds and lethal hits. Some armies can do this better than others and rise above the ones who can't, despite playing fundamentally the same.
Yeah. It is one of the things that I, for instance, noticed with, for instance, Kill Team as well, is that I don't think it's homogenized but not balanced.
Yeah. Things can be, that's the thing as well though, things can be balanced without being exactly the same, and I think that's something I had have a sensation that they were better at before. To, like, you know, now I fall into the it was better before, but like
Get off my lawn!
That Games Workshop used to be good at making things be more or less equal in terms of, you know, possibility. It came down to how smart you are as a player rather than, you know, having the better army. That's what I mean. Had an argument with someone about this one a bunch of years ago when they went like, yeah, but I want to win every game, and the moment that you have that one happen, that people wants to win every game, then you start getting the issue with one army has to be the best one, because then you get people demanding that their army has to be better than what it is currently, and you start seeing less and less of that. I don't know if that one makes sense, but you know.
No, I mean, for this, I see more and more of like what happened in the Kill Team. If I look, for instance, you know, at Underworlds in general, and then, you know, we're talking AOS, kind of the same problem.
Yeah.
Being fast doesn't compensate for having, you know, facing an opponent who can just wipe you off the table with one swipe.
No.
Yes, but they're slower. No. And I just feel like, you know, they're a company, they need to make money, but what I do notice is that it feels like in the olden days they would actually do proper beta testing.
Yeah. And now that one doesn't happen anymore.
And I think they just churn out so much stuff all the time that quite often they have to, you know, redact and adjust rules afterwards and come out with errata because, oh my god, this one doesn't work, or they come out with a new boxing like, yeah, this one annuls everything previously, rule-wise, simply because, you know, they fucked up. Now they have shitty testers.
Current 40k's biggest problem is that it's written for someone who plays 40k 5 times a year or someone who only plays at tournaments. Mini Wargaming recently dropped 10th edition for their narrative games because they said the rule set make it impossible to tell a fun story on the table, and man, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, because that's what I meant when I said earlier as well, that like every game they have has something that you know, it would be good if the other games had. One of my absolute favorite rules in any of the games they have comes from Necromunda. I have never played Necromunda, but it is the possibility to upgrade your characters in between games so that you can play campaigns where your characters change and alter according to your wishes. And I mention this one every time that I go to Games Workshop to my...
What are you biting? I'll deal with it. Look.
Yeah, but she was walking over this thing, see. Our local Games Workshop dude, Phil, that I went like, I would want that one in Kill Team, because if I can play my Kill Team thingy with my friends, and we can have like a little narrative going where I increase or decrease specific stats in between games because I like one of the characters better than the others, then that, you know, that brings more joy to the game. But it doesn't exist in any other system, so it kind of falls flat because of that one.
Well, I also to an extent think when I played my first tournaments, I no longer have the patience for 6-7 hour campaigns where people go like, oh my god, that was not 5 inches, that was 5.3 inches. Shut up, really. Because that is indeed, you know, back then it was difficult to get a narrative, but you could just ignore the rules a bit more because they were quite dodgy and iffy written, which had its disadvantages as well. But now you get, you know, you get so many obscure rules per faction that it also becomes more of like, you know, who knows the better stats?
Yeah.
Than anything else.
But that one also comes back into what Keen said as well, that it's homogenized, because all the individual rules are called different things, but they're basically the same.
Yeah.
So you will have like, you know, they know no fear. I'm you know, I'm just making it up now, but you know, you will have a rule like they know no fear, and then, you know, one of the other factions will have a similar rule, but it's called something else because it's not Space Marines, and that one is bothersome, I think. It was maybe a poor example, but it's the rule that I know from from before.
Yeah, but you know, also participation trophies to an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, you had rules like, you know, red goes faster or purple is, you know, invisible / magic for orcs specifically. And now people are whining that, you know, what do you mean my army needs to be painted for that rule to apply? Yeah, otherwise you have a grey orc, not a red orc.
A red orc.
You know, and I think they try to make the hobby more beginner friendly, which is good. But split it up and go like, you know what, these are the introduction campaigns we can do to ease you into things.
Yeah.
And maybe get some starter sets going, you know, milk it out, do whatever you need to.
Yeah, sorry, I need to read this one before it vanishes. Horus Heresy 1st edition had a campaign system called Victory is Vengeance. You open the campaign with a massive but short 4-turn apocalypse game. Whatever survives is your army for the campaign. Each model that dies permanently. The rule set is there to reflect a cutoff, bitter conflict between two sides who are abandoned and are grinding each other down out of spite. Your characters get super wounded, guns break down, and in the final battle, you just have this showdown between two ruined forces fighting because they have nothing else left. It's incredible. That's kind of what I've been missing as well. But it's also, correct me if I'm wrong, but that one was kind of something that existed in previous editions of 40k as well, because you had the options to do those ones. And
I've played campaigns like that.
Yeah, and currently what happens is that a lot of things get just mowed down into it's not tournament compliant. That one is also something I have issues with. Like it has to be tournament compliant, or and because people are competitive, and you basically end up with a situation where you cannot play anyone who isn't a friend who agrees to your, who just play friendly and just have fun together. It's I don't know. It's bothersome, I think. But yes,
It's also, I personally think it's sad because if you as a beginner you want to do something, before it was like, here, get a box, assemble it and play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Painting was nice and fun, but for playing, not per se.
Not a requirement.
Not a requirement, because it can. For someone who just starts, painting your first army is fucking daunting. So even nowadays it's literally the. Yeah, I only need this box to play, right? Yeah, you do. And then you get into the, oh yeah, but you need your rule book. You need your paints. It needs to be painted at this. This is what pisses me off even more. It needs to be painted at this level.
Yeah.
Are you fucking shitting me? I'll just dip them in black paint and go like, ta-da, Black Templars.
You only have to look at how terrain is set up in 10 to see how boring the game is now. L-shaped ruins everywhere with defined footprints, so you can't even draw a line of sight between open points. Yeah.
It's just sad.
Somewhere in Antwerp, Phil is hearing loads of things in his
ear is going.
No, but it's a shame. But it's also it's been for quite a while, these kind of things, and it's also one of the reasons why I don't really play the game either. Because it's there's too much around it. There's too much stuff that has to be.
The shorter games are fun.
The shorter, yeah, but that's why I play those ones. I mean, Underworld is fun, and Kill Team is fun because it doesn't require that much.
Mm.
It still kind of requires painting and stuff if you want to paint, if you want to play with other people, but it's instead of having to paint like 60, 70 figurines or like 3 big knights, whatever, you don't have to paint that much. Horus Heresy 1 also had the Betrayal at Calf campaign, which is played in 3 phases. The traitor players get huge advantages in phase 1, even in 2, and advantage flips at the end. Lots of really thematic rules about ambushes, etc. Horus Heresy 1 and 2 are where the most passionate people at Games Workshop pour their effort in, and it now looks like they're gone.
Yeah.
That being said, Force Heresy 2 had problems. I bought a campaign book for Beta Garman, the penultimate battle of the war. It's literally 2 optional missions with a handful of pre-battle modifiers. It was an absolute cash grab. Oh.
Okay. So now I need to set up OBS.
Yes. And then you're good to go.
For that bit. Yeah.
Demon Fulgrim also got rules and he was easily one of the worst units in the game. Well.
I also need to assemble Azrak the Annihilator and give him some chrome paint
Yes.
in gold and red.
Yes.
Because that's rule compliant.
Yes.
Army's on parade. He's going to be on the catwalk in all chromes and glitters. As Corn demands.
That feels a lot better.
Away with you. Away with you.
100 layer below. 100 layer below. Time to save as. I want to do something fun with the axe as well, but I'm not sure exactly what yet. I might. I said this one last time when I started painting this one. It kinda, I felt like I wanted to paint something almost cyberpunky, but not sure. I painted an axe, so that kinda put things on a different spectrum. But maybe I can make that one into.
What are you? Oh my god, Grim is sitting next to me demonstratively.
Yes,
And sulking.
of course she is.
Because she needs No, I don't want to share that thing. I want to remove it. Fuck off. Thank you.
Traitor Legion preview for Horus Heresy 3 said something like Night Lords players will notice that the rules for night fighting are now gone, but they'll also be happy to see you can make enemy units take morale tests with flamers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's clearly some of the as well. Just looking forward to painting a bit more coming days. My orc kill team still has the diver I need to fix.
Yeah.
For some, and because he's small in stature, has that big pointy nose, it makes me think like a French GIGN diver.
Yes.
So every time I'm picking up, I go like, oh. Je suis le crétin.
On y va, Gretchen. I have to do all of her lashes out. Well, I don't have to, but because of the entire thingy, the shenanigans.
The shenanigans. Fuck all of you. Come on. I have a cool feature on my laptop though. I've connected it to my phone, so every time I get like an SMS or something, or I get called, and I'm like, for instance, have my headsets on, I can answer the phone on my laptop.
Nice. That is cool.
Makes it easier to click away like, no, I don't want to talk to you. Click. I had a plan. I had a cunning plan.
Always always have cunning plans. I make her eyes look a little bit cyborgy.
Right. We did have, you know, the cutest kittens at the shelter today.
Yeah?
Yes.
You mentioned to me, but you haven't mentioned on the stream. But yes, there tends to be cute. Kitties there.
Yeah, but it was really like so cute that everyone in the shelter came to look at them, and we see quite some animals pass. The mom looked like one of those cats you could. We would like, can we call like Sheba or Whiskas and go like, hi, we found your next model. And there were like 3 mini versions of her, like 2 boys. They were like, you know, bit short haired like her, and then one, you know, little girl, and she was like a little fluffy cloud on legs, but really like, you know, made out of cotton candy. It was just so freaking cute. Everyone was like, oh my god, they fit in my purse, or like, no, in my pocket, I can bring them home. To have a palate cleanser of all the negative. Where the fuck are you?
But yes.
Yes.
Okay, that is a little bit more of that.
Oh my god, I have little films, little small videos we made of Grim as a puppy.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh my god. He was so cute, what happened?
Something happened and we don't know what.
I'm actually looking for a photo of Afni.
It's difficult, isn't it?
No, I have photos of Afni. But normally the AI on my search thingy, if I look for snakies, will find them, and now it didn't.
Let's see what this one does. Okay, that one. Okay, so now she has a bit of more funky eyes. That's not gonna help cutting it as a cyberpunky thing though. Oh yeah, no, I was supposed to do this one as well. Because not like that. Not like that. bit more unkempt. Unkempt is good. Let's see. That one brings it down in color tone. This brings up the saturation. What are you doing, sweetie? Hey! Wee. So yeah. Here we go. Maybe not that one. Maybe not that one. Okay. This brings this one a little bit closer to that color.
Why are you still fucking there? Thank you, Jesus.
Like so. And then we bring this one closer to green. Not like that. That works. Okay. That's a little bit bare. No. Saturati. So I'm bringing down the saturation a little bit on the clothes. Not on the pants though, I think. Or maybe. No, not on the pants. Simply because it helps
Enough! Let her play with the toy.
to homogenize things a little bit.
Scotty, leave it.
Like thus. Yes. Merge with layer below, merge with layer below. Sieve it.
Sweetie. No.
Oops, there, this one. So I'm gonna add a zipper.
No. Enough, come on.
And one on this side as well. No, not like that. Yours. And then we need to.
Seriously, the moment I can, I'm just eating Windows off the shit and installing Linux on it.
Yeah.
Feel like joining for a walk later?
Yeah. I will join for a walk. I'm gonna slowly finish up here.
I wanted to go for a run, but since I took a nap, that made me feel like, you know, what year is it? I'm not gonna go for a 3K walk. Okay, no shit, I need to do that one anyway. Fuck.
Okay, that's that. Let's just leave that one like that. I'm gonna leave that one like that. It's not correct, but sometimes you can leave things as they are.
Today I learned that Holland has its own country code.
Uh-huh. And you know, and their own flag. But I also grew up with sometimes having to call my grandparents on Åland, so.
Sweetie, enough. Two-step verification.
That is better. This one is not gonna be finished today, but we're making progress. Like a glove.
Whatever, I'll just reset the fucking thing.
Alright, I am going to call it quits for today. Next time on this channel with this, when I next time paint this one, which might not be next stream. Yes, quick announcement, on Wednesday there will be no stream. Because of other things. But we shall be back next Sunday.
We should be back.
We shall be back. Next time I paint this one, I'm probably gonna add some tattoos and whatnot, and maybe make the axe into a plasma axe or something fun. Need to make things look a little bit more like it's cyberpunk, because that's what I was going for. Let's see. The time lapse might have a jump at a specific point because I had issues with it and it broke. We'll see. Let's see what it gives. Anyways, thanks for joining. See you next time. Bye bye.